A favorite memory, there are a ton.
My most distinct memory from Parker, my 14 years here.
My favorite memory from Parker is...
My favorite memory at Parker my 4 years.
My favorite memory is...
So, I don't think I could give a favorite memory of Parker because it's all sort of lumped together into a largely enjoyable mess.
I think what I love most about Parker is that it's really given me tons of opportunities to try new things. Starting from the time when I was in 5th grade and I was able to learn how to speak Middle English with Mr. Kaplan. By God, he schmote me when I was on the list. That was a line I just recited in Middle English.
I remember snack time was one of my most favorite times.
I think it was 3rd grade. Bryce and I were playing Everybody's at Tech, and we ran smack into each other while we were running through the gym.
It wasn't funny to anyone else but us, and it still probably isn't.
And I remember everyone being so supportive and everyone hugging me and being, like, making me feel special. And
every time, sophomore year, I ran into him in the hallways and I'd be like, "What up, Mr. Banks?" Because I thought it was funny. And the first
grade in Miss Fulling's class, when I didn't want to do the math worksheet, so I hid in the bathroom and I got bored in there, and I was hiding till recess and I got bored, so I got my hair wet and I started styling it.
And there was one day where we were very close to winning, and Graham decided to kick like a field goal from like half field to win, and then the whistle sounded and then recess was over.
And overall the year was really amazing and better than I expected.
Because since I wasn't hypnotized, I got to watch it. And the guy said that all the characteristics of people would be like 20 or 30 times more exaggerated, so it was hilarious.
And we had practiced for a really long time in Miss Zerga's room, and like been really embarrassed when like all the 6th graders would come in and be like, "Why are you dancing in our classroom?" And we'd be like, and then
we walk into Mr. Loffer's room and we look at his computer and there's 2 yearbook pictures up. One of me and one of Bryce, and they say our names underneath so that during class he could look at them and call us by the right name. And
I was hypnotized seeing how I don't remember a thing of it, but I did some things I did not know my body was capable of doing. So that was pretty awesome.
And we were all freaking out
when Miss Cholden handed me back a paper and she said I sucked and that I was the worst writer she'd ever seen, and I started to cry.
Every time I come into this school, something good happens. Or at least something entertaining happens.
In 8th grade in Mr. Stone's history class when Tyler Lawrence thought Jesus Christ was on the back of the penny.
My whole year in 7th grade being in Mr. Johnson's advisory, that was really awkward. It was really awkward.
Doing the musicals every year, and
times after school when I've stayed here till 8:30 at night and I've been kicked out of the school because they need to close down for security reasons.
I always remember learning say contractions like you take rain, you take bow, you slide, and together get rainbow.
And I was sitting next to Johnny Levin, and my favorite memory of Parker is he's got his pants like down like a little bit, like just sagging him a little bit, and Miss Druger looks at Johnny. In the middle of class, she just looks at me and goes, "Johnny Levin, if you do not pull your pants up right now, then I will expel you from this classroom."
Ruggiero advisory, because I've been a part of it since I came to Parker.
When I came back, I was so impressed by how kind and generous people were with me. And
the relationships I've made over the years, and
doing the Mike and Dwayne show with the senior girls.
My favorite part about Parker is the people, because
I have such a great group of friends.
I'm really excited for our 10-year reunion, and I know I bring this up a lot to people, but
this really is the only school I can imagine where you can be an artist, a musician, an athlete, a delegate, a writer, and everything else that you could possibly imagine all in one day, and have your peers and your teachers and your family really accept you even if you can't act or you can't sing or you can't do any of those things at all.
Ew.
It was on?
Now she's embarrassed.